first of all, I give all the credit in the world to Pacquiao for doing this against a real fighter. It's a real fight. It's a dangerous fight against a way younger guy. The one thing that I do advise Pacquiao, even though he kicked my ass and beat me and all that good stuff, that's fine. But the advice because I have experience with this, is to make sure you take it easy, because your body is going to want to train like you're 25, right? Your mind is going to want to go full steam ahead, 100%, let's go. But you have to take that rest. You have to let your body talk to you and get that rest. Give that rest to you when it's necessary, because you're going to want to train every single day. You're going to want to, you feel good, you're doing everything great, but you're 46 years old. You have to remember that. So give your body some rest. Rest right now is Manny Pacquiao's friend in between training, in between sparring sessions. There's no shame in taking a day off or two, Manny. Trust me. Let your body relax, let your body rest. He'll do fine. He's experienced, he's got obviously the power, because it never leaves you. The speed I'm a little worried about, but I think, look, Barrios is a live dog. He's a world champion, and he's no slouch. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I wish Manny all the best. I'm not sure who's going to win. I really haven't seen Barrios, but I think Barrios, I mean, the youth is obviously with him in this corner.
I heard you at the press conference say that you helped this guy right here as a sparring partner back in 2019. How much of a trip is it that you're fighting now on a main event of a Pacquiao card?
Yeah, it's sick, man. Like you dream for these opportunities. The first time I got told I was sparring Pacquiao, I was on the opposite side of him in the ring, and I was like, what the hell's going on, I'm sparring Manny Pacquiao.
How old were you?
I was 2019, so what was that, 6 years ago?
6 years ago,
yeah. 25 years old. It's only the start of my career, basically. But yeah, it's a one hell of a achievement to be fighting on this card.
Were you nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah, like, oh crap! Like this is Manny.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. Great experience.
Like how was it? Because in 2019, I think Manny was, I believe, like 39.
Yeah, he was fighting Thurman.
Yeah, he's fighting Thurman. So how was like his? You always hear from people that have fought Manny, it's like the speed, and it's like, dude, where are these punches coming from? Like, and they're like, they're surprised that they're so snappy, and you're like, it like takes a lot of people back.
Yeah, like what I noticed when I was sparring him was like, he wouldn't do much in the first 2 minutes, and then the last 30 seconds he would come on in barrages of punches. So you just got to be wary of when he comes on, and when he comes on, he comes on. He really does put it on you.
He's 46, taking on a 30-year-old Barrios, man. It's a tough challenge, but what do you make of it? If you're I'm telling you to go in your pundit role now. Like how do you see it?
I can't see Manny winning. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
No, I can't see. I think age is a big factor, even though he's my favourite fighter and stuff like that. Mario Barrios is a beast. 30 years young, in the prime, going from a world title, it's a hard challenge for Manny.
If he were to do it, would it surprise you?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. That's the thing, because he's Manny Pacquiao. He's full of surprises.
Yeah.
But listen, if anybody can do it, man, it's Manny. Manny is special. He is a one of one. There's never been a Manny Pacquiao. There will never be another Manny Pacquiao. So that nostalgia in my mind gives me hope that he actually could go out there and do it again. I mean, and you brought up a point about this fight, and I don't think if it wasn't Mario Barrios, and this is no knock on Barrios, I think Barrios is very good. But stylistically, Manny has always done really well with taller fighters. The guys who gave him the most trouble were the guys who were eye to eye with him. The Tim Bradleys, the Marquezes, even Agapito Sanchez back in the day. It was right there, right in his face. Taller guys, he just has a knack for closing the distance, catching them heavy over that front foot, countering over that jab. So I think stylistically, Mario falls under all of those characteristics. Tall guy, fights heavy on that front foot, really likes to throw that hard jab and a hard left hook. A lot of opportunities for the southpaw to counter. The question is, can the 46-year-old Manny pull that trigger? Does he have that explosive first step that made him famous? Listen, the volume's probably not going to be there. The exceptional elite level footwork's not going to be there. But listen, that boxing IQ is going to be there. That timing probably won't be there because he's been out of the ring, but that's why he's got Freddie Roach. You know, you got to work on it in the gym. So, it's going to be what version of that 46-year-old shows up.
Did you get a chance to see like the exhibitions and his last fight was with then based on I've heard many people say based on that like they're worried about what's going to happen to Manny.
Yeah, a lot of boxing people didn't watch the exhibition, and I've talked to them about it, and I bring it up, and they're like, "Oh no, I didn't get to see that yet." I'm like, "Oof, you need to see that because the guy is shaped just like Mario Barrios, and he honestly he's a watered down version. He's not a boxer; he's a kickboxer, and he did things that Barrios does really well, and it worked on Manny well. That little pullback, boom, straight right hand, boom, right down the middle, pop in the right hands, nice and straight, good technique. That's one thing about Mario. He's got good pop at 47. He drops everyone. And I don't think it's because he's a huge puncher or like a super heavy-handed guy. It's because he has great structure on his punches. Very good fundamentals, good structured punch where he lines up his body well. And those are the kind of shots that can give a guy like Manny, who kind of flies in at times, a lot of trouble, which we saw in that kickboxing match, or against that kickboxer, rather. But I will say this. I don't think he was really training for that fight, that exhibition. To me, it looked like he was just like, it's 4 rounds. It's a guy who doesn't even box. I'm just going to go out there and beat this guy up, kind of like he did with the guy before that. But this guy was a real fighter. Like, I know who he is as a kickboxer. The guy can really fight. This is a little different. You're seeing Manny in Wildcard Gym. You're seeing him with Freddie Roach. You're seeing him day to day. I'm watching his body change over these weeks. I'm watching the training camps. My nephew, Michael Algieri, was just out in camp with them, sparred with Manny's son, Manuel Pacquiao Jr., ran with Manny, got to see him, and he's like, yeah, he's working hard. So I think it's going to be definitely a different version from that kickboxing guy. But is it going to be different than the Ugas fight? I don't know. That was 4.5 years ago. He looked listless. He didn't look focused in that fight. He didn't look like he had it. Didn't have that good first step. But I think we're going to be able to tell really early on in this fight what version of Manny we got. The big question for me, one of the things that I really thought made Manny special, and what I noticed in the ring too, was his first step. It was so damn fast. Fastest hands I ever fought in a ring was Amir Khan. Fastest first step was Manny Pacquiao. His ability to pull the trigger early on, pop that straight left hand right down the middle. If I see him go out there, pop that straight left hand on the heavy-footed Mario Barrios, bangs him, cracks him with her left hand early, I'm like, okay, we got to fight. If I see him falling out of position, being off balance, getting square, and getting countered early on, I'm gonna know right away this is gonna be a bad night for Manny.
Yeah. So okay, based on your experience fighting Manny, what does Mario need to look out for, even at a 46-year-old Manny who might not be as fast as he used to be, might not be as explosive as he used to be, or as mobile, but there are still things that he needs to look out for.
Yeah, I think Mario should be setting traps. Don't overthrow that first jab. Play with that lead hand. Shortchange that jab. He's got such a long reach advantage. Shortchange that jab. Make him think you're a certain length, and then draw him in. Stand your ground. Look for that counter right hand. I had a great conversation with Galaxy Warrior Nate Campbell a couple weeks back. Actually, probably a couple months now. We were talking about Manny Pacquiao. We were talking about fighting him, and he goes, "Man, you know what you got to do when you fight Manny Pacquiao?" And I'm like, I'm listening. I'm like, what's up, Nate? What do you got to do? And he points right over my shoulder, and he points. He goes, you got to do what that man did. It's Juan Manuel Marquez. He goes, you got to stand your ground and punch with him. And I'm like, you know what? Absolutely. Problem is that you're punching with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And the guy couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. You punch with the guy, okay, you land a punch, and then 2 more are coming after that. So it's like a high-risk scenario there.
I knew that too, but a lot of times when we land at the same time, his hurt me, mine didn't hurt him. So it was in that situation, given that. But Marquez is obviously a different kind of puncher. But yeah, I think with Barrios though, I think if he kind of short sells his length and goads Manny in, hopefully Manny doesn't have the same feet, falls off balance, and Mario, like I said, he's got a very good structured punch. He keeps his fundamentals good. There's no fat on those punches. There's no daylight. So he lands that punch. It's nice stiffness. He gets good extension on the end of those punches. If he can keep Manny on the end of those shots, even off of counters, I think he's got a real good shot to look really good that night.
So, given everything we just talked about, Chris, and even the intangibles, like what's the most likely thing that happens the night of the fight, you feel?
Most likely, Barrios is I don't know what the betting lines are, but I would assume he's the favorite, and I think he should be. Most likely scenario is that Barrios youth, vitality, hunger, and opportunity of this big moment gets the better of the older, aging former senator. But there is that thought that if anybody can do it, it's Manny Pacquiao. If he can find, if he can go back to the well one more time, it seems like he's kind of got the right guy in front of him. And if he's got enough left, it could be a miracle. It could be one of those nights where, man, what a feather in the cap that would be to come back and be the oldest welterweight champion in history.
I don't know how Pacquiao coming back and getting a world title shot, but I really don't care. As long as I can get my hands on those other belts and be able to unify and then be undisputed, I really don't care what's going on.
Yeah, what do you make of that? Because he's roughly double your age. Is it?
Yeah,
do you think that's crazy?
Yeah,
him
he's
coming
like 50
back
or something like that.
He's I think like 42, 43.
Yeah, it's 50.
Take it easy. I'm 40.
Yeah. 50.
Shit.
No, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a crazy, that he coming back. I mean, it's a good name to have on your resume, but I mean, as long as he ain't in my way, if he get the belt, he get the belt. I really don't care.
What do you think of Manny coming back at 46 to fight like a 30-year-old in Barrios?
I feel like if there's anybody that can do it, it would be Manny. I mean, we see them calf muscles. We know that boy thumping. That boy got concrete gloves. You feel me? So, I feel like he can still make some noise. He a legend for a reason. He a Hall of Famer for a reason. If you got Bernard Hopkins that could do it, you got George Foreman that could do it. Why can't my boy Manny Pacquiao do it?
Yeah, people would know just simply because of the age. That's why you got to, boxing's a young man's game.
Mm-hmm. Let's take it back. Archer Moore. You feel me? Everything is possible. Why he can't do it?
The mongoose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In a dream scenario, say you get a win over Devin Haney. I know you're going to say when I win. I know how you fighters are. Say Manny wins. You got Rolly there at 147 pounds. Like, to you, like, what's like the marquee fight at welterweight?
I'm gonna say besides my homecoming, and you said Pacquiao win, I need that Pacquiao fight. That's legendary right there. You feel me? So I got legendary fight plus WBC belt. Give me best of both worlds. Let's run it.
What happens if you fight the winner of Barrios Pacquiao in that fight?
I get the win.
How?
Do you want to answer that for me?
I wonder how you think you could break them down. I think it's a great fight, both of them. I think you're gonna. Do you think you're gonna stop them? How do you think you break them down?
You know what I'm gonna say.
We've done this before, Connor.
Have we? Why are you asking silly questions?
Well, two things, right? First, when I first seen it, I said, God damn, Manny is about 40-something years old. I'm only 38 and I retired. I'm thinking about it, right? But then the second thing is that I think we all love Manny Pacquiao for what he stands for, his heart, just his nature. And I'm going to be a fan of him regardless to who he fights. But to see him fight a young lion and killer in Barrios, it's going to be challenging for his last fight. I think that's what he's saying now. This is
he said that a few times. I'm not believing it until I see it, but
But two, Manny also has the style to be able to be competitive. I've always said Manny was when I was amateur fighting against a novice fighter, because the more seasoned amateurs used to be more systematic and you just kind of figure it out. Whereas the novice used to be all over the place. You had to think more, you had to be more aware. Shots could come from places that they don't train you to throw them from, And so that's why I love Pacquiao, because he's so unpredictable and exciting because of that. So I think it'll be interesting, but age is definitely a factor. Barrios will have to really take advantage of that, put the pressure, and use that youth.
So you're going to be watching the fight against Mario Barrios. What do you make of his comeback?
I said, man, it's a tremendous fight. I'm curious to see where Manny Pacquiao is now. And the Barrios is he's tough. Barrios is tough, man. So we'll see what happens.
You called out Benavidez in the last interview. You going to call out Manny Pacquiao now?
I've been calling him out, but to have a Hall of Fame fighter, the only 8-division world champion in boxing, 8 division world champion in boxing history, on my resume, that would be nothing but incredible. So, yeah.
I think that you can't really ever criticize Manny Pacquiao. I mean, the guy's a legend, and he's definitely got the right to do whatever he wants in the sport. Should he be fighting for a world title? Absolutely not. Should he be installed in the rankings immediately at what, number 5 or whatever it is?
Yeah,
after being
I believe
out?
it was 5, but the WBC retracted on that and said they made a mistake.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, should you? I mean, I was just, but look, he's Manny Pacquiao, and it's a business. Like, if it wasn't Manny Pacquiao and some other guy who was in the rankings and was a former champion rang up the WBC and said, stick me in the rankings, do you think they'd do it? No. But it's Manny Pacquiao. And that does mean something as well, by the way. Like, it's a difficult spot for the WBC. But at the same time, he shouldn't be fighting for a world title. I don't really want to see him in the ring again because, by the way, as well, like 2 years ago, we nearly made the Conor Benn fight. And Conor Benn, at that point, he'd never really been in a big fight. I was getting pelters. You're a disgrace for trying to get Manny Pacquiao back in the ring. He's finished it. This was 2 years ago. Now, all of a sudden, he's fighting for a world title. But you've seen him in the exhibitions. Like, he's just, it's sad to see. But he's a legend. So let him do what he wants to do. Get the fight out of the way and then move on.
Yeah, now that you brought it up, what do you think about, like, you got tremendous amount of heat for wanting to put that Pacquiao fight. Just your perspective on.
But that's what happens, I don't see the uproar now. 2 years and fighting for a world title. But when I wanted to put him in with a guy that hadn't really boxed at world level 2 years ago, there was uproar. And by the way, I don't think Manny was physically depleted like he is now. This is further 2 years on. But, it is what it is. I think as well, because Barrios was so poor last time out, I think, like, if it was Boots, like, if I made Boots against Pacquiao, I should be strung up for the World Championship. Like, that's dangerous. But I think because Barrios is a good fighter, but because he looked so poor last time out, some people are going, well, blimey, if Manny has anything left, maybe he could win. He won't win. He'll get beat up. And it'll be sad.
You feel he has no chance then?
No.
Moving on.
I hope he don't. Like, I hope there's a Cinderella story and he rolls back the years and, but let's just be real. Like, it doesn't work like that.
So Manny Pacquiao's son came to visit you. You were working with him with Algieri, so he might turn pro on his dad's card, on the card.
Nice.
What do you think about his dad's fight, and what do you think about the kid turning pro?
Oh, I support that. If they wanna be fighters, and it's fine. It's fine for his son. Fighting in Pacquiao's cards is huge for him. So all the best for them.
What about Manny and Barrios? What do you think?
Oh, it's gonna be a good fight. Always Manny Pacquiao bring all the best to make a good fight.
You were away from the ring for a very long time, and then you came back and you fought Camacho. Manny's coming back after, I want to say, like a 5-year layoff. Yeah. First, your reaction to that, and I don't know, give me your perspective as a fighter being off that long. Like, what's important to have on your mind to be successful?
There's no one answer to that question. I mean, when I came back, I didn't realize it was 5 years I've been out of the ring. You gotta get used to being hit. You gotta get used to being training that hard at that level. It's a lot of things. It's more mental, more psychological than it is physical. You have to have that heart, have that feeling. And you know what? Do I question that? No. You know what? Maybe he can do it. Maybe he knows the right thing to do. And it's just the way you feel.
For you, just your reaction because you lived through it, is it a good idea for a boxer, regardless of who it is? Or is it a lot to do with who the fighter is?
We don't think how foolish it is. We don't think that way. Fighters don't think that way, for the most part. But, I wish I had it. But then again, you couldn't change my mind. I was ready to go in that ring. Not 100%, I will say that. I wasn't prepared 100%. But I did what I felt to do. It's totally up to the individual. You know, it's here and there. You know, what? Be optimistic, but you know what? Reality finds its way.
Shane Mosley was out there. He saw him do his workout instead of his morning routine where he runs like 5 miles and he does like 1,000 sit-ups. He said that Manny's mind still looked like it was there. How important is that for the mind to be there in order for the body to respond to what you're putting it through? And
Extremely, 100% optimistic. I mean, you have to feel it. You got to feel it, and that's what I can't describe because it's within. It's within.
Yeah. What should Manny expect right back over here? Going in there with a young guy, you have an experience with that, like something that like you wouldn't really think of until you're in the ring there with a young guy at Manny's age.
The first punch.
First punch.
First punch.
You're waiting to that to just see what's behind it.
Absolutely. First punch. It's like with Tommy Hearn. Tommy hits like a mule. Hi, Tommy. No, it's power. It's that first punch.
Do you think at 46, Manny, obviously, like you're saying, you don't know how he's going to respond to it, but should he, your thoughts just from what you think, do you think he's going to respond to that well, or is that going to be...
That's what you don't think about. You don't think about how old you are. You know, I'm 69, and I don't think, well, I get reminded, but no. It's again, it's here, man, it's here. Yeah. It's believing in yourself.
Hey, Ray.
I can't say that enough times.
Your thoughts hey, Ray, how difficult is it to be at that age, to be in a fight, like when he's in those rounds where it's getting tough, like what could go on through his mind, and how difficult are those moments being at 46 fighting?
Nothing that he's never experienced himself. I mean, it's 5th fight, 6th fight, 10th fight, 20th fight. It's the same thing. And I can't really describe that. It's just a feeling that we all have.
I think Pacquiao, at least, from the first half of the fight, first 4 to 6, I think he's still going to be able to be like kind of show signs of the old Manny Pacquiao. I think the wear and tear and everything, the age will kind of show more later in the fight. But again, so Abel Ramos is a dog. Like he's definitely a problem when you're in there. But I also think man, this is Manny Pacquiao. You're gonna rise to the occasion. You're definitely gonna be your sharpest. I actually see him now sharper than he normally is at this stage in camp. This is super early in camp. I think 7 weeks, and like he's already making improvements.
Have you seen Manny in camp, or are you talking about?
I haven't seen. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Barrios.
Okay, Mario.
Yeah. Mario's like he's my homie. Like one of my best friends and everything. And I see him day in and day out. Yeah.
You said that he looks better than he had versus Ramos.
Yeah.
Like he cleaned up the feet stuff.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, everything: the feet, the hands, the reaction. No, Mario's gonna be on point for this fight. I can say that with full confidence, and it's just how sharp and everything against a guy like Pacquiao. But I have full confidence in Mario for this one.
We've heard conversations in the past about Manny Pacquiao kind of lulls you to sleep in a press conference like this. He smiles, he plays coy, he pays compliments. He shakes hands, he kisses babies. But then on fight night, you get that dragon from across the ring that comes at you and tries to rip your head off. And you talk to Mario Barrios about making sure he's ready to pull the trigger when it comes time.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about it, but I think he knows what he's in for, man. Like maybe at this point in his career, in Pacquiao's career, you know what you're in for. Like you're not gonna let some guy like, oh, I'm this nice guy. Everybody knows full well who Pacquiao is. I don't think he's falling asleep, and I think even just the fact that some people are saying like, oh, Mario's just fighting an old man, so they're already trying to not give him credit. And on top of like on the other hand, people are saying, oh, it's Manny Pacquiao, so he's gonna roll Barrios. So I think there's enough motivation and enough things on both sides to motivate Mario enough to not fall for like the friendly talk and everything right now.
What would you ask Manny Pacquiao about his comeback tomorrow versus Mario Barrios?
I would ask a simple question. And please, Manny, tell me the truth. Why? That's it. Why are you coming back? And the warrior that Manny is, he's gonna be like, because I love to fight. And I want to fight the best, and I've been watching boring fights, and I want to come back and give a show against Barrios, who's a world champion.
That's a true legend for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, why these guys want to come back, I don't understand it. You know, it should be, I mean, I just don't understand it. You know, he's what, 47 years old?
46 years old, going on 47.
Yeah. You know, for what, man? I mean, maybe these guys didn't take care of their money. You know, he made a lot of money, so maybe they didn't take care of his money. Why he has to come back? But you know, I think it should be a limit. They should limit guys coming back at a certain age.
To fight at a certain level or just
That's
period?
fight at a certain level. I mean, look, he's come back. They ranked him number 5 in the world. Why he deserved that, I don't know. You know, what you tell the other guys that was ranked number 5? Are we pushing you back? So that means everybody got to be pushed back to make room for Manny. You know, is it fair? No, it's not. You know, he had his time. You know, he was a good champion. He was a good fighter. But to come back and just jump ahead of everybody else, it's not fair.
And then you don't, and danger aside, we haven't even really talked about the danger of fighting a guy nearly 20 years younger in Mario Barrios. A lot of people are compelled about the fight because they think that Barrios is rather flat-footed. And one thing you can't be versus Manny Pacquiao is flat-footed. Do you think that that's something that gives him a chance?
But that's the old Manny Pacquiao. You know, we don't know what the new Manny Pacquiao is. You know, he's 46 years old, and we don't know what kind of speed he has. We don't know anything right now until we see the fight. But still, if something happens to Manny Pacquiao, then what?
And that's the bigger point.
Absolutely.
That there still is that apparent and that clear and apparent danger that comes with stepping between the ropes.
Absolutely.
There will be no quarter ass or no quarter giving.
No. Absolutely. You know, and you know, hopefully not underestimating Barrios, because Barrios is a good fighter. That's why he's champion of the world. And you know, anything can happen in that ring. And to come back at 46 years old, you know, I think it's too much.
And now July 19th, you know, is that potential fight, which to me is a little bit shocking. For the most part, that you know Pacquiao has been in the ring for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's coming back, facing Mario Barrios. I mean, have you talked to him? Were you shocked as well with that, you know, that fight announcement happened?
He did mention it to me a while back, but you know, it was kind of in the works still. I didn't really believe it at the moment. I don't think he did either, but you know, now it's almost official, so I think it'd be pretty cool just to see, you know, a friend I grew up with fight a legend like Manny Pacquiao.
It's right for Manny to come back and fight. I mean,
if he feels like he has it in him, then why not?
What is your prediction for that fight? You know, even people saying that at his age, you know, training camp is different. You know, watching him, you know, do all that is obviously different being in the ring. But how would you break that fight down for us? Obviously, Mario has a height. He has the length.
Yeah. I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but I mean, he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that, you know, he has a youth, and you know, Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of fans are saying, and you know, are still kind of disbelief. But even, you know, looking at, you know, social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back. So just to have him in the ring, you know, and fighters at that age are not competing.
I think that just says a lot about, you know, the type of fighter Manny Pacquiao is, the stardom he has. I mean, he's what, 46, 47?
He's 46.
And people are still excited to see him fight. So, I mean, that just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao is going to be pretty cool. And it's the same night. So, it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
Wearing a Pacquiao Barrios hat. I know you used to be Pacquiao's stablemate, or did you not know?
Yeah. Somebody give me this present. So I always manage Pacquiao team. I learn a lot in the Walker, so I like the fight.
What do you think of him coming back, being 46 and trying this?
You know, you look 46. He look old, but he look good in the gym, and like Pacquiao is not like regular person. You know, he's the best. One of the best ever. So you say, don't fight. It's better not more fight. But say, why now? You know.
Why not?
Yeah, you have a chance, man. You have only one life. You know, one life. You to take risks, and I like it. You know, it's no way for criticize these things, you know. So
My last one for you. Barrios is 30. He's a strong fighter. Do you think Manny can beat him? How hard of a fight is this for Manny?
I think very hard. I see 50-50 fight because he's big, taller.
So things have been working smoothly together, and I think we have a good game plan right now. It's just up to me, just go out there, fight night, to try to execute it, because I also know it's not gonna be the easiest. Pacquiao looks in phenomenal shape right now. People have been tagging me in all types of his videos and trainings and runs. So it's exciting. It definitely motivates me because it knows I have a live dog in front of me. This isn't just like some old man.
I would imagine, sparring for a Pacquiao could be a little bit difficult, not because of him being a southpaw, but because of the speed factor. Like, how have you guys adjusted for that part in camp?
Yeah, he's definitely he has a one of a kind type of style, and it hasn't been the easiest to try to replicate. But it's just getting as many trying to get that southpaw, that fast, that twitchy style, as much as we can. Trying to get opponents, that can throw, sometimes 8, 10 punch combinations, just and so yeah, finding the sparring for this fight, it was a little challenge at first, but yeah, we have we're closing out our last week of sparring. And I think me, Bob, Richards, my sister, I think everybody on my team, they're very happy with the amount of sparring and the rounds that we have been able to get in this camp. I'm still, preparing for, the best version of Manny that I can. I'm not going in there expecting, to be facing an old man. And so yeah, I'm expecting him to be fast, to be moving. So yeah, I'm just expecting the best from him.
I would think because you're younger, that the later the fight goes, the more it's in your favor, right? Like, do you guys feel that?
I feel that I have confidence, and the longer the fight goes, right? It's it's my job to go in there and yeah, make him feel like the old man, make him feel you know kind of in the most respectful way, make him regret coming out of retirement, to face me, but make him question it, right? Why did I come back for this? um but yeah, I definitely I give the favor to me, as the round as the rounds go on. But especially too because Manny is known for being a fast starter. He's known from the first bell, he's coming out swinging.
People base the style matchups on an opponent's last few fights, and Manny's last fight, he didn't look too good against I believe it was a Japanese or a Korean fighter. It was a kickboxer. Before that, he had another exhibition where he looked a little fluffy, and then he had the Ugas fight. I don't know, how much are you gauging from those past fights that he's had?
I'm not. We haven't been trying to gauge too much off of his his especially those exhibitions. I think this fight, you're gonna see it a much more I guess up to date version of Manny. And he has said himself too. Because of his age, that 4 year layoff, that might have been the best thing for him. Even when I had fought Thurman, Thurman, he came off I think a one or I think a 2 year layoff, and yeah, he came back very very fresh, very uh very sharp. So yeah, I like I said, I just been preparing for the best version of Pacquiao. We're expecting a rested version, and yeah, so it's my job just to go and ask all those questions. Come fight night, but with what I'm able to do in the ring.
What's like your response to like people saying like this is the perfect like matchup for Manny? Like Manny usually does well against like tall fighters. He's historically done well with like taller fighters.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that. I don't think my style is good for him. I think they're going based off of a lot of what they saw in my last fight. But there was a bunch of different things that went into my last camp. So like it wasn't the most ideal type of camp for me, but I still went in there. Still very proud of what I was able to show. But yeah, I think if they're kind of just looking at me as like a stationary, tall fighter, kind of a more like a style like Margarito, I think is what they're expecting.
What are the motivations for you to want to come back and do boxing? Because boxing's so hard. You take punches to the face and the training and all that. Why want to go through all of that again?
I love boxing is my passion, and I love to work out hard. I love workout. I mean, my body is so tired. Like I feel tired when I don't have exercise every day.
Yeah.
So I love to work out, and I love to prepare like this fight. I mean, I'm excited. My body can still fight, and the speed is still there. The motivation is still there. I still have that fire.
I remember when you made that video on Instagram, Goodbye Boxing. It made me sad because of how many fights you had that I've been and seen. The retirement decision. Did it never?
I was crying when I announced my retirement before. Like it's hard. It's really hard to turning away from boxing because I grew up in boxing, and that's why I really miss boxing for. But it's good for me to retire for a couple years, and then to get that's a time that I give my body rest for how many years. So good thing and nice to be back. Officially, I'm back.
Yeah, so Hall of Fame, and then you go in and you can maybe make a record. I was thinking, is that part of the motivation is to break history, to become the oldest welterweight champion, but also, off the top of my head, I don't think there's been a active fighter who was a Hall of Famer who became a world champion also.
That's my, I think that's another history. I mean, like I said, I always bring surprise to fans.
So at 46, you're coming back into camp. How does it feel, like the body training at 46? How different is it?
It's good. I still have that fire. I still have that speed. But the thing is, I have to adjust because of recovery. It's not right away. So you need to have time to let your body recover.
It's hard, huh? Because the mind says you can go, you can do it, but the body tells you, wait, chill out. Like,
that's why you have to balance it. Yeah. Balance, not only mind, but you need to coordinate your mind and body. So when you push hard this day, then look at you can feel the next day if your body can still do it again or rest a little bit. Slow down.
So what's the plan, Manny? Is this, let's see how this goes, let me see how I feel, and then there's more fights, or you already have in your mind, I have a few opponents that I'm thinking about already?
Right now, all I can say is one at a time. Like it's hard to talk about the next fight while focusing on this upcoming fight. So let's finish this fight on July 19, and then after that we can talk about what's the plan after that.
And my last one for you, Manny. A lot of people mention your age. A lot of people, when fighters come back, usually, I'm not saying this is the case for you, but they always have that say like, oh, he's coming back for money. This is coming back for you, right?
This my comeback is like boxing is my passion, and I'm so lonely because when we announce retirement, a lot of fighters, good fighters, announce it retire. their retirement, and I think boxing became lonely. I mean, lonely. You know that, and now I'm back. I want to make the boxing again is as you know,
Fun.
as happy as
Good.
fun as like what we did before. This is it. I mean, I can still keep on going, and I hope that the fans will be excited for July 19th.